Oh.
Heather wanted to take a picture of Mr. Lee and Mr. Magley, if that's, would be time to do that before she leaves.
Okay.
We need munch cuts for the website.
Yeah. And also, at some point in the next couple weeks, try to make it over to the police department for a city badge, city ID card. So. Oh, you can do those too?
No.
Oh, you can do the pictures? Okay. All right. All right. You don't want to wait for the picture?
Don't worry, man. We can wait.
Okay. Yeah. Get with Heather and schedule that so she can get that on the website, please. Thank you.
I call this meeting of the General Government and Public Safety Committee to order. I'll assume attendance and foregone conclusion. Moving on to public safety. City prosecutor report.
No report, sir.
All right. Police department activity reports in your packet. Any questions? Hearing none. Police department other. Chief, do you have anything you'd like to talk about?
Yes, sir. Thank you. I spoke briefly with Lynn about today. I think we budgeted $18,000 for that code enforcement truck, and I'd like permission, however it is we do that. I forget from time to time. I'd like to purchase a 2009. It's a F-250. It's from Patrol. Out of their fleet. It was a crash team truck. That might not mean anything to you other than it was assigned to a corporal I know him. He takes good care of his stuff, which is important to me. 2009 Ford F-250. It's an extended cab. It's four-wheel drive. It is a police package. If I didn't have to be worried about that police package thing, then, you know, I could and would get something on state bid from 3-4 Chevrolet. But keep ourselves out of harm's way with my some police package, if that's what you're going to do with it at any time.
Do you know how many miles are on it, Chief?
It'll be less than 65. That's what they're selling them at the truck now.
Okay.
And the thing I liked about this one was, one, I could buy a little cheaper because it's not Troop F or Troop B white. And two, it's got the topper and the wheel and light bar already on it for $18,050. Now, I had it in my head that we had budgeted 15. So when I went to speak to Lynn about it this morning, I was a little bit cagey. It's like asking your dad if you're going to go to the show. That's kind of the way I looked at it. So I was easing into that conversation, and, you know, this, that, and he said, cut to the chase. What do you want? I said, well, the price tag's $18,050. He said, you called me over $50. I wouldn't have had I remembered that it was $18. Dang it! Dang it! But anyway, if anybody has any questions about the truck, I mean, you can debate the truck or a vehicle purchase all day long, but we've had really good luck with those vehicles that we bought through the patrol. I just can't stand to buy a new vehicle and just take that beating on that depreciation. Yeah.
Is that the only vehicle they got?
No, there's others there, but I particularly like this one, because I know the guy that had it. Two, it's a crash team truck, which means you didn't get in it in the middle of the night, start it, and rob the thing to death till you got to an accident scene. Someone was already there securing the scene. You get in it, make sure you have all your stuff about it as you go.
The investigation team, right?
Yeah, it's called the Major Crash Team. They've got some Dodges there, some bigger trucks. And I thought I'd look at a public information truck, but what inspired my interest about this one was, let's just say I was gonna hold out and get a public information truck. Now, that might not mean anything to you, but in the fleet of the patrol, they have some, what's called a public information officer, safety officers who go around and make the talks. Some of those guys have some F-150s. They're not four-wheel drive, which won't really help me much. And then you have to buy a topper. Then you have to worry about the light bar. This has already got the light bar and the equipment on it. So we won't have to, I won't have a bunch of added expense and a bunch of downtime getting ready to go. It's nothing not to like about it. It's a real nice looking truck, and just nothing not to like about it. It's got 17-inch tires on it. So, and the tires are about 80%. There's just nothing not to like about it. But it's within the budget, give or take $50, and if that's too much for you, I'd like 10 from each of you, so that way you can get us why, other than that, like,
I think nine for each of us would probably be
10 in case the price goes up, try to get down there. But it's kind of what we were thinking. It's got a topper on it. It's perfect for what Sandy wants to do with it. And it's not only that, but that winter we just went through, just doesn't hurt to have an extra four-wheel drive in the fleet. We were just dead in the water without my personal pickup and Sandy's truck. So I'd like to get that thing done. And however it is we have to go about it. Yes, sir.
Well, you're getting light bar and shell, we're gonna have to net one new radio, right?
No,
No, sir.
radio's already been purchased on the grant last year.
So we have radio for it.
Yes, sir.
Radio for it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. We ought to be road ready with it other than.
Lynn, do you need a motion for that?
Yeah, and rather than putting it to the next meeting, because these things tend to go.
Oh, absolutely.
Quick.
Yeah, this is a timing thing.
Right, I make a motion that we approve the purchase of the 2009 F-250 crash team truck for the police department.
Thank you.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to purchase the crash team truck, 2009 F-250, the amount of $18,050. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Thank you. Yep, you should. Do we need to redo that because the chairman didn't do it? David.
He just took over, so.
I'm sorry.
I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters. I looked at him and said, I think I should have done that.
Yeah.
I don't think the vote's gonna change.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Okay.
You should call for abstentions.
Any extensions?
And yeah, any seconds.
Thank you.
Any else under other for the police department?
I don't know if it's, I don't know if you knew, but park truck that we confiscated, stolen from us, found it burned today.
Torch.
Which one?
Park
Remember that
truck?
Parks truck we bought? Like,
Put that in the
bought-
Dodge
Remember the Parks
truck.
truck we confiscated after Corporal Bellamy?
That tan one?
Gray?
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 You got stolen?
Yeah, it
We didn't
was
make it.
stolen and,
We didn't steal it.
Yeah,
Stolen.
somebody stole it and torched it.
yeah.
Keys weren't in it, it was secure, and you might remember when we did that, we had it rekeyed. And that too is some of my concern about some of this other truck we were just talking about. Now we're down to another truck. Now, the question, did it cost us anything? No, other than my time driving down there and getting the VIN numbers right and all that. But, okay. I guess what you need to know is right now, ourselves and the county sheriff's office are investigating. Ain't over yet.
Okay.
Has there been a lot of that going on around town? Theft wise, I mean,
No, I don't think so. I think this was targeted truck by individual.
Anything else? Oh, sorry.
We're on this topic. I don't know that we have that booked in any value, but I would request that the committee move to write it off, so it books as an asset, since
Okay.
it's total.
Sure. So we'll entertain that motion.
Second.
I hear a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
I have one other quick thing, if you don't mind, sir.
Sure.
Next Monday is the first day of National Telecommunicators Week. We always have the dispatchers come over and introduce themselves, you know, it really hasn't changed, but that's what we do. I'll get a proclamation ready for the mayor to read, as I always do. I know David can't be here next week, but I'd like for as many of you as you could to be here for that thing that we always do for them. And that'll be next Monday, just during the regular meeting. You can find wherever in the menu you can to do that.
Oh, sorry.
Pardon me, sir, was that truck, does the city get any insurance from that?
No,
No.
Because
got it
that's
for free,
additional
so it
measure.
shouldn't have any. We may have booked it at value, but there was no purchase price, so we're not gonna get more than $1,000 out of insurance, and it would have been the deductible.
Thank you, sir.
Anything else for other police department?
If somebody's got a question on me, I think I'm good.
Thank you very much. Moving on to fire department, activity report. Any questions? Fire department other.
Basic month in Centralia, fire department thing.
Any other questions for the fire department? Moving on to emergency management.
OAPC has a meeting next Wednesday, other than that, I don't have anything to report.
Okay. Protective inspection.
The mayor has signed 4 demolition contracts. Linda Yeager, Mrs. Atmo for the old Eleanor Lyons house down on South Central. Mr. Crump for a house in the 400 block of North Allen. It's got a for sale sign in front of it. It's on the east side of the street. And Mr. Romine, Justin Romine, who purchased Bill Matter's old house on Pool Street and intends to tear it down. And there's almost half a block there that will become several blocks, 3, 4, 5, depending on how many houses he wants to build. And the last contract is spoken for in that Melody Kemper has written a letter saying she wants to be on the list. She just hasn't executed the contract yet.
Okay.
So unless somebody doesn't follow through when we award the contract, we've gone through the allotment of the year.
Okay.
I don't know whether I mentioned this earlier or not, the house on South Allen 500 block, I believe it was, the brown house that had the fire recently and is basically totaled. The city has received a check from the insurance company for 10%, which we hold. And if the owner does not rebuild or do the demolition, then we have the right to apply that money under state statute towards the cost of the demolition of the house.
Okay.
And I haven't been inside it, but I understand that really there's nothing to do but demolish it. So, but there won't be any additional subsidy for that, because there won't be any money, it'll just be if there's no work done in the reasonably short future, I'll issue the infrastructure notice.
We, heard anything more about the little church there by DD's, across from,
At least once a week, I ask Merritt where he stands, and he hasn't gotten in touch with the guy who is an overall truck driver, who is the principal surviving board member of the Institute Corporation that owns the church. They had an arrangement to sell it to his mother church in Columbia, which then could have put it on the market for adjacent property owners. I don't know where that still stands, but I keep asking Merritt, and he wanted to ask me at the next meeting.
all right, or if you could, relay that and see if you could come up with something between now and Monday. I would appreciate it.
Okay.
Thanks.
What about Clickersville? Did any work been done yet?
I did go by there the other night, and one of the garage doors was open, and he was in there working. I heard him banging on something with a hammer, so he's doing something inside there.
Moving on, general government and finance, economic development.
We have Barry here, and we did manage, Joseph managed to get a copy of his report into the council packet for you to presumably follow along with his report.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank the mayor and the council, the mayor for the appointment to the credit board of David Wilkins, and also a subsequent council approval of that. We take that pretty seriously, and the founding people of Credit for this latest gyration of it decided that that would be the best thing to do, was have those three entities appoint the board members, and then 4 would be elected, and those 3 are the city, the school system, school board, and the chamber, Centralia Chamber. So we thank you for that. We thank you for taking a serious look at that and taking that seriously. We certainly do as well. This report will be the first of many, I hope, as we progress along. Things will change, obviously. We hope to be able to make any financial information available to you as you see. So we'll go through a little bit of that here that's attached. But I would like to start with our most recent activity, was the Job and Business Expo that was held on April 6th, Saturday morning out at the CIS, the Centralia Intermediate School, multi-purpose room there. We had 21 paid booths, 30+ job seekers, and tried to keep this brief, but our turnout last year was around 45. We had a little over 30 this year, but it seemed like the quality, and I say quality, they were more educated, they asked better questions, and they looked at the businesses, because I think we had a total of 5 businesses that were actually looking for applicants, and that could have been part of it too, because last year we hardly had any, even though we had, I think, 26 booths last year. So it seems like the quality of the applicants are a little bit better this year, so hopefully we'll see some things come out of that. Another thing that's being worked on, along with the board, is also Jess Lingle working on this, the intern from the University of Missouri, working for Credit, is this marketing piece, and that will include a letter of introduction, and we hope to have that ready this week. We've had a couple of board members input, and so we're putting some more of that together. And I guess, Tim, help me out, I guess you and Lynn would probably be the best ones to look at that before we actually send anything, so we can kind of get a consensus on everything.
I already have.
Yeah, Lynn reviewed it and made some changes.
Yeah, but there'll be additional
Suggestions.
and there'll be additional changes coming forth too. So
Barry, can I interrupt you for a minute? Sorry.
sure.
On the job fair this past weekend, unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it due to drill, but the little mini workshops, how did those work out?
Okay, we had Executive Advantage, which is a company out of Columbia, and they've been Credit members now for more than a year. They offered for a no cost to us to have 3 little mini workshops. One of them was how to find your star employee, which I thought was very good, and it wasn't what I thought. So he put some very good things forward there. The second one was, as an employee, how can you put your best foot forward, and then how can you keep that best foot forward. So I did not sit in on those two. They were actually up on the stage and had chairs circled around and had a whiteboard, and they were going at it up there.
Okay.
So, but I did hear some positive feedback from that, and I think some people got some good things out of that. So certainly I think that was a worthwhile thing to do. Although a little difficult, the big room, kind of hard to hear, and you know, it was but I believe that was a very worthwhile thing to do. So next is Purchase with a Purpose, and we've been working with Neville up at DC's. He's wanting to try to promote the Purchase with a Purpose with an event of some sort, probably some sort of a walk, and the details are forthcoming, but they're trying to get it done before Anchor Fest, so we can have it kind of right before the Anchor Fest, and hopefully have some momentum going into the Anchor Fest with that. And then Credit will obviously continue to promote the program through advertising media, and continue to do the things. We're struggling, it seems, with that because we still run across a lot of people that don't even know what it is yet. And so it's just going to take some time, more time to get it out there, and we keep pushing on that. Andrew Reynolds, the business instructor, I'm not sure exactly what the specific classes he teaches at the high school, but he is the FBLA advisor. And so he came to our credit meeting and was asking about some things that we could do together to try to provide some real world experience to the Future Business Leaders of America group. So that's some ongoing stuff that will be going on. And then we met one time with Bernie Andrews, and you know, you look at these things and you think, well, we should have probably been doing this all along. We had not been doing a very good job of that. So we'll try to at least monthly, but it's probably going to be more like every 6 weeks. We'll meet with him and go over things that are pertinent to the Centralia area, or things that might be happening in the Columbia area that Centralia we need to know about. And one of the things that we found was that Ready reports available properties to this 22 state website, and I don't have the name of it on here, and I can't remember what it is, but it's a site for businesses that they're looking for properties. They can kind of get everything in one place, so they can search an area. And so we're going to work with them to try to get all these things on there, because there was a few that he wasn't aware of. So hopefully we can help with that situation. And then when we met with Hubble about 6 weeks ago, John Blivens expressed some concern that City of Columbia was buying their solar panels from a company in Arizona. They're also buying the anchors to anchor those with, and they're a pretty extensive anchoring project. And he asked Credit what we could do. So we told him that we'd go meet with Ready, and we'd meet with the city purchaser for the City of Columbia, and see if we find out some more information, report back to them, and maybe Credit can help build that relationship for that aspect of what Hubble's looking at.
Try to get Columbia to shop local.
It'd be nice if they could buy their anchors right down the street. And I understand, just like the city of Centralia, that's a bidding process, and a lot of factors go into that.
Right.
And I know there's anchors in the ground around here that aren't public or a chance, but so I'm sure they have some of the same things. So just letting them know that is here, and maybe we can get some more attention paid to it.
Right.
So that's all I had for that part. As far as the financials, we're trying to split things up in classes. So right now we have general program, job fair expo, and social events, and you can see the numbers there. As far as a balance sheet, when we show unrestricted net assets, that's carryover cash from previous years. So in 2011 we had about $1,100 carryover, and in 2012 we had the balance of that carried over. And you can see our net income is down 1,000 because we're kind of in a stage right now where most of our memberships are coming due. So that's why we see 1,125 in accounts receivable. Some of that is booths for the expo, but the majority of that are membership dues. So we become a bill collection agency, just like anybody else, and kind of go after some that they're slow paying their dues. But so anybody have any questions or anything, I'd be glad to answer.
Do you have an estimate on how much the credit members and community members contributed basically on a for instance, the job fair?
Yeah.
How much people contributed without actually charging credit for?
What we have set up in our accounting system is what we call in-kind donation. So we'll have, when I get that from the job expo, then we'll put everything in and we'll be able to see how much was donated, and we'll show an amount, a plus and a minus, so it comes out to zero as far as the final number goes. But it's substantial. I mean, Roger's rental was probably approaching $600 just that morning. So
I know several community members get involved with that, and you know, I would like to convey the appreciation of the board in the city for that effort on those businesses.
we'll have it put together and on there for the next month's report.
Okay, thank you.
I'll see you at the board meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
The chamber report, chamber meets tomorrow, their report will be at the rhythm board meeting.
Right.
We got the park board.
You have their agenda for future meeting and, the agenda for March and the minutes of their previous meetings.
Any questions, park board? Moving on to cemetery board.
Nothing to report, sir.
Okay. Tree board.
Nothing to report, although this Friday is Arbor Day.
Last Friday
Last Friday.
was celebrated Arbor Day. If you saw the newspaper, the Arbor Day proclamation. And also, I got this from the Arbor Day Foundation today, that Centralia was named a 2012 Tree City USA by the Arbor Day Foundation in honor of its commitment to effective urban forest management. And this is the 23rd year that Centralia has earned this national designation. So I think it's pretty commendable that we continue to pursue that effort. So
That's something that the tree board completes the application.
right. And part of that application is an annual Arbor Day celebration. So that's good.
Library board.
Their agenda is
in the packet.
They also meet tomorrow at 6.
look like a very sparse agenda.
Yes, yes. March financial statements.
Were in your packet. I believe there was at least one change in those from Friday's amount. Somebody had the shakes when they entered the bond payment for the rec center and got double entry.
Oops.
And it's been correct.
Okay.
Good.
Thank you.
Moving on to bills over $1,250. Any questions?
No page that's on?
Last one. Just the last page of the packet.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, I should reiterate that this financial report, the balance sheet and the op statement are also the year ending documents, so they constitute the activities for the previous fiscal year.
Okay. Thank you.
Any questions on the accounts payable? Moving on. Other general government. Anything else, Lynn?
Who's gonna win? We're in Michigan.
Michigan. Or Louisville.
Well, look at the time.
No, I don't have anything.
Okay. As we arise.
Yeah, I had a phone call this weekend, guy wanted to know if we could put a kids playing out on Singleton Street by the apartments. Kids out playing.
Not been our practice to do that sort of thing.
He just asked if we could put that out.
There's no enforceable ordinance or driving regulation behind it. It doesn't, it's a feel-good without having any legal meaning.
Okay.
I'll look into it, but which apartments?
The one down here on Singleton. He said they've been speeding excessively down the street. His grandkids about got hit.
Landon will.
And I talked to Chief about that, to make extra patrol down Singleton.
Up the enforcement.
That's
Yes.
more likely to have an effect than any sign.
Yeah.
People regularly blow off signs around here.
Well, then,
Once it's up for a couple weeks, they don't pay any attention.
that's what I was.
Wow. Mary, you had something?
Yep, last week I received an email, we talked about this, year and a half, 2 years ago, about the, urban chickens. This gentleman would like us to revisit the, urban chicken ordinance. He compares ours to being greatly more restrictive than Columbia's. So, just wanted to, let you know.
I'm ready to vote on that now.
I will forward this out to everybody. And,
The appropriate way to deal with that would be to refer the matter to the P and Z if you so desire. If you don't,
well, being that we just
Then
talked
don't
about
refer
it
to
2
it.
years ago, I don't think we need to defer that. But I will forward this email out to each of you, so if you want to talk to the gentleman, feel free. Okay.
Any other as we arise?
I have two little things of interest. Kiwanis Pancake Days this Saturday, is that right? Kiwanis Pancake Day this Saturday, be over at Christian Church as usual. And for those of you that may or may not know, prom, high school prom will be here in Centralia this year. That's kind of a break from tradition. We'll be at the, they'll be at the rec center this year. Last year we, you know, it might be an age thing, but you don't think about it. 5 or 10 years later that you didn't have your prom in town. You know, it doesn't mean anything to you at the time. But last year we called and Mr. Reinhardt, who was Principal Ed, booked the date with Ed right there.
All right.
So prom will be here. For me, it means hopefully less vehicular mileage, less chance of an accident. Might be wishful thinking, but that's what I think about. So prom will be at the rec center this year. I think it's the 20th. Where's April? April 27th. April 27th, be out the rec center this year.
Outstanding.
I mean, I don't think any of you are going to prom, but I thought I'd bring it up in case you see me in the traffic out there.
All right.
There you have it.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. As we're making announcements about events coming up, the Chamber Awards dinner is this Thursday on the 11th. So talk to the Chamber and get your tickets. I think they're $15 each.
I think so.
And, but there are several outstanding awards being given this year, and, I encourage everybody that can make it, to make it. All right? And that's-
It's a relatively cheap dinner that you can go out to right here in town,
Yes.
and entertainment is provided.
That's right. The guest speaker remains anonymous. That's not checkable.
To be determined.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
I do have an ask, Mayor Ryan.
Yes.
I would like to thank Lynn for his efforts on getting the community garden announcement in the newsletter. We have had some contact.
Really?
Yes, yes, we're doubling our plots this year, so we're pretty excited about that. So if you know anybody who is looking for a spot to garden, Good Shepherd Lutheran Church has free community garden plots, and the Newman Center Community Garden donated free seeds.
Free seeds.
Yes, we have beans, peas, lima beans, corn, herbs, flowers. There's 2 or 3 kinds of beans. I think whole beans and then some pintos.
It's the herbs that give me some concern at the community garden.
What was in the packet was basil.
Okay. No.
I'm sure it's just a regular growing.
Any other as Mayor Rice? Thank you, Catherine.
Thank you, Lynn.
You're welcome. And now you have it on YouTube too.
Yes, so hopefully somebody else will see it.
You say you doubled the plots, you know, how many is that?
6.
6.
Yeah, we had 3 last year, and we'll have 6 this year. And we have room for lots more.
50%
There's-
increase, that's perfect.
20, they're 20 by 20 or 20 by 40, whichever size you want.
And how much does the plot cost?
It's free.
Free. Outstanding. Thank you very much.
Will they weed it and do it for you too?
No, you have to do that yourself.
Come on now.
If you
Um,
can play what you planned.
Exactly, it's true.
I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries.
All right.